judgment. So I'm just gonna throw up this live stream because I don't feel like making a video about it. YouTube taking that time to do that. Just talk about it right now since I'm in the mood to talk about it. People are blowing up on Twitter. Got Fletcher and Spev going off. I don't know. I've gotten a lot of tweets in the last 30 minutes or so. What's up? Yeah, most of them are just talking shit. Because, I mean, a lot of them haven't played it, don't know what it plays like. You know, I now that I can talk about it openly, there's some stuff, like, it's not all rainbows and lollipops over there. There's definitely some things that I think people are going to have an issue with and that I have a problem with. And, you know, people are just going to have to kind of deal with it. I don't think they're going to change it based off of our feedback. And I don't think a lot of people are I don't think a lot of people out there that haven't played the game know anything about it to be like, oh, this game is going to suck all of a sudden. So that's a couple things that are kind of puzzling to me. I think the biggest issue I have a problem with right now is not necessarily that, like, I think from like a societal and psychological standpoint, anytime there's something that happens to a game or whatever, you get this huge ass uproar from, like, I won't call them the minority, but more so the hardcore people that continue to put in a lot of money. They feel obligated to do so. But while they're in the development phase, some of those guys don't even offer up any feedback in the places that they need to, other than anytime there's a change, they feel like either yelling at the developers or tweeting at me or somebody, CrReam or whatever. And it's like, that's what irritates me. So, all right, the changes that they talked about or announced, you have a lot of people are talking about no down but not out. We knew that going into the Epic Games test, so that was not something that was new. I need to pause that, maybe. No, it's good. Okay. I don't think I had Fatal Strike wants to get in. Anyway, so what I was saying was you have No Down But Not Out was announced. The loadout system, and you know, I can deal with the No Down But Not Out, but I think that a lot of people are going to have issues with the loadout system. And Skyless mentioned this as something that he didn't like, having to make the choice between either using a rifle or picking a shotgun. And the funny thing about that is, back before we even got invited and I was making my speculation videos, Quinn DeHoyle actually did a podcast that basically stated, and I mean, as best as he could, he said that people would have the ability to play however they chose. So now, I mean, you don't really have people, and I've done this before against people in rifles and Gears 3, which has stopping power and a bunch of other stuff. But basically, hold on one second, let me invite him to the Skype call. What's up, Cookies? You like this headset? The A30s? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, dude? You got mic noise, sounds like. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Oh, he said he's hooking up his mic. So anyway, man, it's a lot of static. Can you guys hear me? I might need to turn down that Skype volume a little bit. There we go. Alright. Can you guys hear me a little bit better? Okay. fatalstryke is trying to get in. He's getting his mic sorted. So anyway, what I was saying was the biggest thing that kind of, I guess, bothers me a little bit, and Silas kind of talked about this, is that you have to choose loadouts. The good thing about it is, you know, you have people that, you know, if they want to play with the rifle, they can play with the rifle. If they want to run around with the Nasher, they can do that. So I think that the ability that they're saying, I mean, basically, I guess Epic's thought behind this is that you have the, and Quinn said this, you have the ability to play however you want to play. But Skyless kind of had, I won't say he had like the old mentality of, I need this rifle and this shotgun, but his argument was more like, if I want to engage in someone that has a shotgun, you know, I only have a Lancer. So you kind of have to think about how you want to approach people and engage in fights. But I mean, as far as what? I'm reading tweets as well, so trying to see what's coming in. But as far as down but not out, which is what a lot of people, I guess, started this whole thing, they're kind of upset about it. I'm trying to read this chat as well, so I'm like watching Twitter, watching the chat. I'm gonna see what you guys. FFA gameplay multiplayer video just came out and stirred interest. Like that headset. You can spawn with a semi-auto sniper. Great idea. Yeah, that's the sniper rifle that was shown. This was another thing that I kind of talked about previously, is I didn't understand why there was 3 different snipers, basically. So you can have the default sniper you can load with. You could have the what is the name? Breach shot. There we go. Or the long shot. So to me, it just kind of dilutes the sniper gameplay a little bit. And I didn't necessarily like that, but I think some people that love sniping will definitely pick it up. It's kind of offsetting the bolt talk, because there's no bolt talk. So that's kind of why it was put in there. Can you hear me now? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I had to turn the volume back up. Can you talk for me? Your mic volume is really low.
Oh, that would probably fix it. Is that better?
Yeah, there we go.
Alright, cool. Awesome. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Busy.
You guys did a massive good job keeping all this stuff quiet. That's kind of hard to do, just saying.
Yeah.
I think I tweeted you about.
Yeah. So, everyone, hold on. Let me see here. Someone else wants to get into the chat. I can't see this all the way. Okay, there it
Cool.
is. This is Ninja.
Which ninja? Halo Ninja?
No.
NinjaxPucca.
Who went?
Oh, no, Pucca, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She was with you at Epic.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm
gonna post up your channel real quick. You're on Twitch right now, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm gonna post it up on Twitter to let everybody know.
And I'm actually not streaming through, let me see if I might be able to get this.
Are you doing it through YouTube or are you doing it through Twitch? Because I know
I'm doing it through, Twitch.
Okay.
Add. Add contact. Oh, no, I already did that. Contacts. Let's see here. We'll get to talking about stuff in a second. I'm just trying to
I'm
add
not
her.
gonna rush at all. Don't worry. I don't even got class till 7, so I already finished up all my projects last night. I'm just literally waiting to go. Just got a week left of school, man. I can't wait till it's over.
That's good, man.
Yeah, it's just been crazy busy.
Where is she? It shows her online, but it's not showing her in this.
Do.
There we go.
Uh-oh. Got ourselves a party now.
Yeah. I had too many people I had to Why did a video call?
Hey guys.
Oh, there we go.
What's up?
What's up?
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Chilling.
Alright, let's see if there's anybody else that wanted to hop in on this. Probably Ocey, but
Ocey might. I mean, I don't know what Kenny's doing. I'm sure Kenny probably won't talk. But.
yeah, okay. So what's your biggest concern about the game right now?
You asking me or anybody else?
You specifically, because Pucca's been there, so.
And me specifically, my worries actually are kind of similar to yours. My biggest worry is, I guess you could say, matchmaking. Just wondering what's going to happen. Are we going to see less playlists? We had 32 playlists in Gears of War 3. Are we going to see now the playlist narrowed down a bit so people are grouped together better? Are we going to see different ways that people are grouped, more incentive to play? I'm more actually focused, believe it or not, this might surprise you, the casual and the online experience just in general, whether competitive or casual. I guess that's my main focus at the moment, or what I'm worried about or wondering what's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's been one of my biggest concerns has been matchmaking in general, as opposed to playlists or pretty much any other feature in the game, because the game is so difficult that even with an initial rush of people coming in, they don't really stay that long because they end up getting don't have a good time, so to speak.
Yeah.
So Pucca, have you seen all the Twitter mayhem?
I saw a lot of it today, so I know that people were already talking about some of the changes, and personally, I think it's interesting to see what everybody thinks, especially since they haven't played the game yet. You know, I think reading the changes without knowing what the game actually plays like would also kind of make me worry. So I can understand where they're coming from there, but I guess my best advice would be to just wait until you get your hands on the game, then decide. You know, like, I'm not saying people should like it or hate it. It's just going to be something that they have to decide after playing the game.
Right.
Since it handles differently now, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely understand that, because I mean, I haven't even touched the game yet. I'm just literally analyzing what I can see through, you know, videos and things like that, because I mean, I didn't get to, you know, touch it yet. So obviously I can't say if the game is good or bad without physically playing it. But, you know, some statistics, like, there are some things I think that are really good that were added into the game that I think are awesome, and then there's just like a few things that I'm kind of just, you know, on the fence and just worried about. Matchmaking being definitely the biggest one for me, because that's gonna, you know, dictate how long people play, you know, the game per se. You know, the longevity is going to be directly affected towards, you know, how good the multiplayer is for matchmaking. You know,
Right.
so like that's just a huge deal to me. There are, you know, talking on the positive side, like not trying to just focus on only the negative side. There are a lot of things that I think are awesome. You know, you guys have unveiled that, you know, stopping power is gone, active reload buff is gone. You know, things like that I think are just going to be awesome for the game. But I have one question. I don't know if you guys can answer this. This is just what I've seen from watching like the street gameplay and a few other videos. But is the character's health less now? Just out of curiosity.
I couldn't tell that. I think it's still at whatever it was, 600. I think it's what.
Yeah.
I would say that it's
Pretty sure it's the same. The difference being is because there's no down by DBNO, you just like fall over, so it makes it seem faster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is.
Okay.
You know, with the whole down by not out, I know that that's currently something that's being talked about a lot because, you know, people are very polarized on it. They either hate the concept or they don't care either way, but I think most people just hate it. I was one of those people that I thought going into testing that I was going to absolutely hate no down by not out because I love meat shields and everything that, you know, downs brought into gameplay, really.
Right.
So, but I realized after playing the game for maybe an hour or two, it was almost better without it. Like, I know it's going to sound crazy and I might get hate for saying that, but as you're playing the game, you realize in the end you don't miss it. Like, that's what I mean. It's just not something that you feel like it's missing anymore with all other changes that were made into the game. If we took Gears 3 and just removed you know, downs and reviving and everything, it wouldn't work. But the way that they changed things in Gears of War Judgment, the gameplay just flows differently, and you don't need that. You don't need it.
I'm wondering, like, well, obviously now we're going to have no execution, correct? I mean, it really is only Warzone now, right? Because to me, personally, I just felt that, you know, with Gears of War, I mean, the reason I played it at first was just that, I don't know, the different aroma and the excitement, you know, the ability to, you know, have to clutch in that situation. When a guy's down, then your team has the, you know, chance to make that push and things like that. I'm talking on a competitive perspective, of course, at the moment, you know, not just a casual. But, you know, when you're playing the game and you're playing execution, it's just so exciting. Like, well, you know, going back to the Gears 1 days, Gears 2 days, like, just playing the game on a main stage, you know, in execution was just one of the most exciting things to watch all the time. Just to see that, you know, aspect of the game just gone. It's just, I don't know, I'm not saying I hate it or anything like that, but it's very surprising to me. It's just a big difference that Epic did that I personally never expected to see. So I just, when I heard that, I was like, oh, well, maybe it's just overrun. You know, I could see it not being an FFA, but just hearing that it's gone for good, no more at all execution at all, no more hype execution matches. not saying we're ever going to be back on the MLG circuit, but things like that, it's just very, very surprising to me.
Yeah, so from a competitive standpoint, and I've thought about this really long and hard, I mean, anybody expecting Gears of War to, like, all of a sudden resurge back into the limelight because of Judgment, like, no. I mean, the lifespan of the 360 is on its last wheels. There's so many other games right now that are in the center spotlight for esports. Like, I mean, any type of expectation that it's going to all of a sudden be back on MLG is like, you need to be reserved about that. Don't expect Judgment. And even if it's not on MLG, don't sit there and go, oh, well, it's not on MLG because the game sucked. No, it's not on MLG because there's 15 other games that are getting more exposure than what Gears of War can and will get. I mean, it's just fact. It's just fact. So I think that is really starting to get under my skin a little bit, seeing all these people have these super high expectations for Gears of War being on the MLG circuit, when I think it's more in line with something like hype. So we'll see.
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you there. MLG has been just extremely disappointing to me, and unfortunately, too, it really comes down to which developer is willing to put money behind their game into a competitive circuit.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's never been Epic.
I mean, you already saw that with Black Ops. They put it on PlayStation and pretty much took a big
PlayStation
dump.
gave them $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much took a big dump on the COD community just because PlayStation threw money at them.
Right.
Sony threw money at them.
So, I mean, it's definitely like people got to lower those expectations. Gotta lower them. So, Kenny, what you were tweeting earlier about, I got so many, I don't even remember, but you were...
No, right, the Twitter flood came in?
Yeah.
I said like 2 things and then it all started.
So go ahead and let me know and let everybody else know, like, what's your concern about it.
Well, the only thing is because I'm on the outside, I don't know, like, the only game type I know is Overrun. It's the only, well, and Free for All, obviously, and only because I played Overrun in E3, and I don't see that being a problem at all because Overrun is just so different. DBNO just doesn't matter. It's not really. I mean, it's not really a factor of that game type. Free for All, that's more of a fun thing. But I mean, since I don't know the game types and stuff, if I'm thinking old game types like typical Execution, King of the Hill, it's hard to picture the game really working with no DBNO because what everybody's pretty much assuming is that those are going to be the game types, and then, well, all you're going to want to do is just sit on cover, rifle a few kids and reload and do it again.
So, and my response to that was basically, so we've seen Free for All, and that was specifically made with no DBNO in mind. So it could only be assumed that they have that mentality that game types need to be specific towards this new feature, I guess, or removal of a feature, whatever you want to call it, for Judgment. So I'd say the expectations for that should be in line with what we've seen with Free for All.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's trust me, it's not a rifle fest. Like, it's just not. It's not a rifle fest.
I guess part of the reason why is because it's hard to consider everything else that's been put into the game, and how some things have changed. But it's not a rifle fest.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because, I mean, if, like, me and Fatal, like, we hear no DBNO, we didn't get to go test it, and we're going to just automatically assume, well, this is going to be a rifle fest. Cause
yeah, definitely.
If there's no DBNO, and it's...
But there's no stopping power. There's no stopping
power.
power.
There's no stopping power. That helps, obviously. That helps a lot. And that, I mean, that's why I had high hopes for Judgment in the first place, because they started removing all the things I wanted gone in the old ones. But, I mean, we just assume it's going to be a rifle fest, because why even get close and use a shotgun when there's no DBNO? Just rifle everybody up from a distance.
Yeah, and just just having like hammer bursts and everything else. Like if we're talking ranked casual settings, not even talking competitive at the moment. The one question I have, I saw the Cantus using the regular hammerburst in one of the videos. I know that's a DLC weapon. Would you guys be able? I know you're very strict on limitations, so if you can't answer a question, just let me know.
Yeah.
But do we know if that weapon is allowed to be picked up, normally, like you can use as a normal starting weapon for the regular 3-shot hammerburst, or is that only going to be a DLC weapon that we wouldn't be able to ever use in competitive play? Because just looking at it, it seemed pretty balanced.
The 6-shot,
rapid fire. I thought it was.
It's
it's a 6-shot. The classic hammerburst. Yeah. So the classic hammerburst. I don't know how much we can talk about loadouts or whatever, but I know you can select them. They've already shown the classic hammerburst, and the way the loadouts work. Basically, hold on. Let me. Before I answer that, let me check real quick.
Because I did a lot of review. I've watched like literally every single video that I can possibly see. So like I've tried to see every bit of content. I saw that the Cantus was able to use it as a starting weapon. So what I'm wondering is the biggest thing with Quinn is Quinn talks about how we as a competitive community don't use enough balanced weapons, or we don't use enough of a variety. Always shotgun, lancer kind of thing,
The hammerburst was actually balanced.
So I can
spam the hammerburst. That thing flew all the way up to the sky.
So basically, it says we could talk about how loadouts work in free for all. So I'll just keep it to that. So basically, for an example, as the classic hammerburst, before you start a game, you know how you could always select your loadouts. You get to basically pick what rifle you want or shotgun, and then you get to then your secondary is your pistol. There's no third slot. Like you're not picking a lancer or a hammerburst and then a shotgun. It's just that primary weapon is your primary weapon. Your secondary weapon is always going to be the pistol. That's pretty much how it works. Classic hammerburst. It was, I kind of talked about it in one of my videos. It was kind of difficult to use. I personally didn't use it a whole lot. I think Predator used it a lot more than me, and he said it was awesome. Yeah, so I mean, I was more so focused on the semi-auto rapid fire than the other ones. So I used it a little bit, and I thought it was kind of difficult to use, and it's okay.
When you say, I'm sorry to try to be so specific, but when you say difficult to use, just I didn't play it yet, so that's why I'm wondering, just like how
difficult to use, as in I probably would have needed to play with it for more than a couple of days in order to get the timing down, because the cadence is different, aiming it is different. I haven't shot one since Gears 1, so that's what I mean in terms of more difficult. It wasn't like it was hard to aim or anything like that. It was just I wasn't used to the weapon.
Okay, so it wasn't like the weapon was flawed. It was just that, through the fact that none of us have used one since back in the Gal 1 days on pretty much gridlock.
Right.
Like we haven't really used it in ages, so I completely understand you on that point. I was just wondering out of curiosity.
Yeah, our opinions on that weapon changed based on how long we used it.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I can only say that much.
Okay. Kenny, you got any questions? I feel like I'm flapping my lips too much.
I don't have any questions. I'm good.
All right. So the other weapons were the Bushka and the Marksa. So the Marksa, and I started talking about this early on. The Marksa is one of the loadouts that, or one of the weapons in the loadouts that you can pick. It's a UIR sniper rifle, pretty much. I can't remember the exact. I know it can zoom once. I don't remember if there's any specific. I think there's no recoil on zoom, and unzoom there's recoil on it.